Joining me now is Michael Weiner. Michael, I have a video I want to play, a very educational and instructional video I want to play and then get your response to, okay?
Love it. Love it.
Here we go. Here we go.
Gold was supposed to back the dollar. Leaving the gold standard was the most costly mistake we ever made.
What was so bad about gold?
It kept them honest, but they wanted power. You know, kid, folks today think this is just how life's supposed to be.
What do you mean?
Back in my day, one job could feed a family. My mother stayed home, father worked, and we ate together every night. Didn't realize how good we had it. After the World War, they promised gold-backed dollars, but they broke that promise. They printed paper backed by nothing, funded wars we couldn't afford and shouldn't have been involved in. But France caught on and sent a warship to get back their gold. Truth is, if more countries followed, our vaults would be empty and game over.
I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold.
Turns out, when you fake the money, everything else follows, and you screw the next generation over. And it snowballs, kid. Prices shot up, paychecks didn't, life got tougher, and nobody knew why. We tried raising our kids the old way, but we didn't have the time or the money.
So you outsourced parenting?
Yeah, I guess you could say we did. Government schools raised them, and the TV taught them bad morals. They learned debt, not savings, bought houses they couldn't afford, played video games, gambling, antidepressants, and crimes. Families fractured, divorce rates doubled, birth rates plummeted. Things got so bad, people started financing Chipotle.
Financing a burrito?
Yeah, it's getting bad. Obesity, people eating cheap slop instead of real food. We got softer, sicker, and lazier. A nation in decline. But it didn't happen overnight. When Nixon left the gold standard, we traded sound money for a lifetime of debt.
How will they ever pay it back?
I don't think they plan to. Both sides keep spending like there's no tomorrow and leaving the bill to your generation. We didn't get it right, but you've still got a chance. So, take the reins, kid. Hold your ground and don't give up on sound money.
What do you think of that, Michael Weiner?
I think it's everything I've been saying for a long time. I said we went off the gold standard back in 1971. If you notice what Nixon said, and I was there, Brandon, you weren't around. At the end of the day, it was very two things popped up. It's like what's going on with stablecoin right now that we've talked about. All of a sudden, when he did that, he said it was temporary. If you notice, he said the word temporary. First of all, he did not have the legal right to do that, and he did it anyways. Nobody questioned it, because if you look at prior to, there's so many different things. Let's see, if you take it facet to facet, let's look at legislation. Prior to 1971, congressmen and senators spent 1 or 2 terms in office. They didn't. They went back to the farm. They went back to work. Why? Because they had no power. They had no extra money they could spend. They couldn't print dollars and spend dollars that they didn't have gold to back, so they had no power. We don't have that. When did all these 50-year-old people, 50-year term people come around? 1974, 75, Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, all of it, the gal who, all of these congressmen for 50, 60 years, 50 years, 40 years. It's ridiculous because they have all this power. They build parks for millions of dollars. They write checks for millions of dollars, all corrupt. Because the founders of this nation put us under the gold standard, not because just because they in God we trust, because in the 1780s and 90s, you did not pay your bills. If you didn't, you went to debtor's prison or you became an indentured slave. One or the other. You didn't walk away from being called Johnny Jones bankruptcy lawyer. Now, moving on from legislation, and let's just talk about the family. When I was a kid back in the day, which we got to move forward, that's the Roman days and all that. Let's move forward to the 1960s, leave it to Beaver and all that. That's true. Mothers stayed at home. The families were together. You ate dinner together. You didn't go out to McDonald's. You didn't spend money on recklessly. You didn't have a credit card to waste on meals or anything else. And additionally, the worst job when I was in law school that you could get was a bankruptcy lawyer. It's like being a Whirlpool repairman. People paid their bills. People didn't spend money they didn't have. Period. Now they spend it all day long. It's insanity. When they want to look at what the corruption in America, you look at what happened. We went off the gold standard, like they're talking, from zero debt to where we are right now. We're now going into a crypto world, which is a new way of trying to absorb and move money. Wes and I are sending notifications out to clients right now, Brandon. You might even be hearing about it. We're telling people about the situation, that this situation with stable coins is coming about. It hasn't gone into full effect yet. When it does, it's going to affect you because they're going to be able to devalue your dollar by converting your currency to stable coins and then devaluing the stable coin. So how do you combat it? I agree with this little young man there. They can't sit back and go on the gold standard. They don't have enough gold to do it because there's too much money printed. You can create your own gold standard. You can create your own gold bank to protect yourself against this, because the worst is yet to happen. That's it. I mean, this is absolutely everything we talk about.
Yep. All right, let's go to this real quick.
Years.
We played earlier today on radio the people here in Memphis. We got the Grok XAI, Grok, Elon putting in his data center under our power grid, and more coming with Google data center, $10 billion data center. And people are complaining here in Memphis, Tennessee area, about their electricity bills that normally in the summer would have been about $250, $250, $300 tops, are now over $700. Young people that are renting are now on social media, particularly one little gal, talking about, we rent. It's like 2,200 square feet. We don't keep this temperature at 60 degrees in there. And we're paying $750 now in utilities. The data centers are sucking up so much power and they're passing apparently it on to the customers to pay for it all instead of the data centers. This is going on over the country. Now you add that to the fact these young couples can't afford what it takes to get a house. And I said to Logan, people are going to have to choose. I'm selling my house because I don't want to pay a $3,500 mortgage on top of the utility. I'd rather go and rent a house in our area, a really nice 1,900, 2,000 square foot home for $2,100 versus a mortgage for $35, and use the difference to pay my utility. Because some of them, they're going to have to cut somewhere. But a lot of them can't afford to buy a house, but some of them are going to find themselves having to move out of the house they live in now. They're going to have to sell it and start renting because they need to bring their cost down, and renting is cheaper than having a mortgage.
Well, not only that, we've talked about this, you and I privately. I believe America is rich enough to rent. They just had it all over the news this morning about people who are older that have their houses, they have all their equity in their homes, and they are selling their homes and going to rent and getting that equity and using that as a means of living a better life. They don't have overhead, they don't have any stress, they don't have anything going on.
Let me just stop right there. They don't have to pay for repairs. They don't have to pay for property tax. They don't have to have the insurance on the house. All they need is the renter's insurance. They don't have to pay for the pest control.
Correct.
I mean, I could just keep going. The AC goes out, it's not their problem. It's the guy that owns the house's problem.
And that's why they're renting the houses, and some are renting apartments or condos so they can play. They worry that they have who they live next door to, but not in a house. The problem that we have is we have an overpriced housing market, so overpriced. When they talk about fixing it with lower interest rates, excuse me. So I don't care if a mortgage is 5%. If the house is still $800,000, and you've got to earn $140,000 to move in there, and you're house poor just to get in the house, it's insanity. I believe there's corruption. These real estate agents, they drive around in their Mercedes and all the rest of it. They're making too much money. They're complicit in one of the biggest fraudulent acts being pulled off on America, overpriced housing. and they're involved with it. So are the appraisers, and they're sticking it to us. And we, the American people, are complicit because we want to make that money on them when we sell our house. So if you bought a house for 200,000 10 years ago or 20 years ago, and you can sell it for 400, you want to get $1 million. And that is destroying the strength of America, which used to be the single family homes. Leave it to Beaver.
Yep. All right. So are we in a stock market bubble right now, Mr. Weiner?
Yeah, we're in a bubble because of the fact, and a lot of people don't want to recognize it. Something can't go up consistently and go up and go up and go up and go up. I think the AI bubble is going to be like what happened when the internet bubble first happened. Everybody jumped on it, and all of a sudden that company AOL came out of nowhere. They were the internet people, and they turned around and bought Time Warner. And if you remember what happened to that Time Warner purchase by AOL, they found out, the shareholders, that AOL was really worth nothing but smoke and mirrors. So they unraveled the whole deal. Nobody went to jail. Steve Case and Levin, the guy who was the president of Time Warner, who got $150 million. Steve Case, who totally disappeared, got like $500 million. These guys made a fortune off smoke and mirrors, and that's what they're looking at here with AI. That even the guy from OpenAI is saying this is getting crazy. And I think the same thing with NVIDIA's and all the rest of this stuff. I think that it's eventually we can reach a crescendo and a plateau, and then it's going to correct itself. And when it does, the people who own stock have an opportunity to recapture what they lost if they can hold on. So like in 2008, if you had gold, you had the ability, with the profits you had of seeing gold go up 400%, to hang on to your stock. But the people who had mutual funds went back to work or lost their home, because all they're doing is betting on the price, and that money's gone. It doesn't even come back. It's just gone.
All right. How about the banking system? You said that's changing. That's going all digital, right?
The whole world is, Wes and I, we're talking to people right now, and we're telling them, get ready for a complete new financial system. It's sort of like when Nixon turned around, we just listened to that idiot, when he went on TV and told us that he's going to take us off the gold standard. Everybody was asleep. He must have done it at 9 o'clock at night, because I remember my buddy called me up. I was in college, not in Greece and during the Roman days, but actually in college, getting my 17,000th degree. And my buddy called me up.
How many degrees do you have, Michael?
Just 2.
Okay. And law degree and your BS?
Yes, correct.
What's your BS?
BS. Business.
Business studies. That's a business studies.
Yeah, but at least if your kids go to school, make sure they're coming out with something. But anyways, I just lost my train of thought.
The late at night, your buddy calls you when you're in college.
Oh yeah, my buddy called me and he says, "What?" He said, "Did you look at your money?" This was 1971. I said, "What are you talking about?" He says, "It doesn't say silver certificates anymore. It says Federal Reserve note." And I looked at my wallet, and sure enough, all the money changed. And what we're saying to people right now, that's exactly what's going to happen when they use these staple coins. The banks will change your money to staple coins, and you'll wake up one morning and you might have 100,000 in the bank, and you now might have 80. Your gold will go up dramatically. And that's why you hear them all touting gold, and you hear all this positives, because gold is the only true globally recognized financial instrument as the ultimate tangible, the ultimate. And where we're at right now is some people are asleep at the wheel. Everything is not okay. We are going to have a new banking system. I think President Trump and Basant have the ability to carry us through it, but we're going to go through 18 months of a hellacious period of time of change.
What are you expecting in that 18 months? What do you think is coming in this 18 months?
I think that the dollar will be absorbed through the cryptos, or not the cryptos, the stable coins, through the Genius Act backdoor, and there'll be backdoor use of the CBDC through the banks. I think the Chinese are declaring war on us financially, and they're going digital to be able to do it. The European Union's declared by the end of the year, they're going to be digital. So is England. We have no choice but to be doing what we're doing, but it's going to be a gun battle. And fortunately, we have people like Trump and Basant because they can get us through it. But anybody in a gunfight, you're going to get wounded. So either you protect yourself and pay attention today, or you're going to call us back up and tell us later, why didn't I do that back then? And my answer to you is don't worry about what's over your shoulder. Try to look ahead.
By the way, let's take a look at what Cracker Barrel stock did today. Have you seen what Cracker Barrel stock did today?
No, it wasn't on my top 10 list. I don't eat a Cracker Barrel. I don't even know where the one is around here. I have eaten it then, but not around here.
Yeah, well, they redid Cracker Barrel. Kind of went.
Yeah, they got a different sign now. They got rid of that guy on the bench.
Yeah, on the barrel. He was sitting next to the barrel, yeah. And apparently people aren't liking it,
Well, people get used to something. It's sort of like going to Denny's for breakfast.
Well, and they take it personal because it had a Southern flair to it. And a lot of their stores are here in the South or the Midwest. And a lot of people took it personal, like you're attacking our culture. This was part of our culture.
People get attached to things. And, that's the same thing when Nixon did what he did with gold. We had almost 200 years of living under that.
Positive that people
like what that was a clip on my
honestly,
end.
the feedback's been.
All right. That was the CEO of Cracker Barrel. Sorry, guys. All right, keep going.
I was saying that literally we were lived under the gold standard for 200 years, and Nixon just with a stroke of a pen said, I am temporarily changing it. And he opened the floodgates on us that led to things that ultimately broke up the family unit totally. The thing that led to the breakup of the family unit was Roe v. Wade. If you look at Roe v. Wade, if people could kill babies, they can kill marriages. And if you look at what happened to the marriage rate after Roe v. Wade, take a look at it. Because that was the beginning of the end of the marital unit and the family unit. You can kill a baby, you can kill a marriage. Why not?
Yep. Why not? Why not? Okay. Get your free, no obligation packet of information at worldviewgold.com. Worldviewgold.com. It's an awfully little banner there, but I do see it. Get your free packet there. There we go. Worldviewgold.com. Worldviewgold.com. Michael, are you going to be at our national conference Friday night, October?
Absolutely. I'll be there. And I'll say this in closing. Wes and I right now, we talk about it all the time. You know it, Brandon. We try to warn people ahead of time. We're calling up all the people, all our worldview people. They know it if they're listening. And we're warning them about what's coming up. We're actually warning them. And some people are saying, no, well, I got to call my financial advisor. I said, what do you think I am? I mean, hello, I got more degrees than him probably. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, that doesn't make me a genius. Start realizing, ladies and gentlemen out there, that this is your money. When you lose, nobody else loses except you. Mm-hmm. So pay attention.
100%.
I'm done.
And if you come to the conference, you get to meet Michael Weiner, visit with Michael Weiner in person. Some of you have met him. You get to visit with him in person. Again, one of the benefits of being there in person at our national conference, Friday night, October 3rd, Saturday, October 4th. This will be your first time to meet Dolly, too.
Oh, Dolly and I are hanging out. I brought her a little banner. I got some cookies, bribery stuff all set up. Yeah, all kinds of bribery. Coordinated with Logan.
She's very eager.
She's going to wear a Swiss America sash.
There you go.
It's going to be great.
There you go. She's sound asleep over here, but she'll be ready to go when you get here. Michael Weiner checking in tonight. Thank you, Michael.
Good evening. Take care, all.
You too, my friend. We'll be right back after this break. We live in uncertain times. In fact, we live at a time when our own governments all over the world are warning us that there could be big problems with our power grid. World War III seems to be right on the horizon. Let me ask you this. Do you have a satellite phone? Should communications go down with cell towers? Do you have a satellite phone to get a hold of that college student or your spouse who travels, whatever it might be, to get a hold of your senior adult parents? We have satellite phones at worldviewtalk.com, and you get the satellite phone for free when you sign up for their very reasonable payment programs for the service. Sign up for the service with a reasonable contract, get the satellite phone for free. Worldviewtalk.com. You'll also find they have, well, what I now have, which is a Solar generator. Yeah, I have a gas generator, an LP propane generator, but what if that goes down? I want to back up to my backup. So I now have a solar generator as well. You'll find them at worldviewtalk.com. Check it out today, worldviewtalk.com.
News is moving faster than ever, and so are we. Worldview Tube brings you 24/7 live stream coverage and now real-time alerts when it matters most. Once you have the Worldview Tube app installed, exit the app and navigate your way to Settings. In Settings, locate the tab labeled Notifications. Select the Notifications tab. Scroll down until you locate the Worldview Tube app icon. Select the tab, and here you can turn on and customize your notification experience for the Worldview Tube app. News doesn't wait, and neither should you. Turn on push notifications to stay informed. Every headline, as it happens,